Good evening, everybody. Hello, my name is Chef Mark. N equals 1. This is my weight loss journey. Coming to you today, I want to talk about getting the train moving again and being in ketosis and some other random thoughts that are bouncing through my head. Just a quick update. As of this morning, I'm now down to 376.5, which from my last video, I believe that's probably about 15-pound weight loss, close to it. I think I was just under 400, maybe 390, not sure. All I know is my last video, I was just coming out of my 6-week experiment of going off keto and upping my carbs, and we know that experiment did not go very well, which led to me leaving the bariatric community for surgery for good. So I decided to do it on my own. So those are new. You can watch the other videos and get yourself caught up. So anyways, for the past month, I've been in some state of ketosis, anywhere from 0.5 to 2.3. I had probably about 3 days in the past month where when I woke up, I was under 0.5, but I was at 0.3. Did I ever wake up where I was out of ketosis or fat burning. So I want to talk to you a little bit about, first, what I like about being in ketosis. Since I've made that switch, my arthritis or inflammation in my joints are way down. I mean, I still have it. It's not an overnight process, and it's not going to fix itself in 30 days. But I feel 100% better because of that. During my 6 weeks, I had sinuses, and they're pretty much gone. I still have a little sinus issue. It's this time of year. It seems, but once it never really goes away until we get out of Christmas. Hence the reason I'm a little hoarse today. The other thing is I've had a UTI, urinary tract infection. Mine, I think, was mainly a kidney infection because my kidneys were sore. One thing, I drink a lot of liquid to not get dehydrated, but when you're in ketosis or when you're in a ketogenic state, you do not retain much water, so you always have to make sure you replenish it. And along with, I have no problem. I eat enough salt, and I have no sodium problems. So, I've always been one who salts my food pretty good. Not over salt, because if you over salt, then you take away from the taste of your food. You got to find that balance. Everything in life is balance. And your palate will let you know what's too much and too little, because your body likes salt too. It has a lot of functions, but I'm not a doctor and I don't play one, so I'm not going to really go into that. But I just know from an N equals 1, a study of 1 myself, being in ketosis, inflammation way down. Blood sugars, awesome. Most mornings I'm below 100. There's a lot of mornings where I'm in that 70, 80 range, which that's when my ketones are high or higher. It's when I'm in, because nutritional ketosis starts at 0.5 to 3, but you really are doing your body good when you're in that above 1.5 to, I find, like those couple of days where I was above 2, I was bouncing off the wall with energy. So you're always chasing that number. That's my problem. I chase numbers, weight numbers, ketone numbers, and that's part of my problem. But everybody has their picadillies, and we live with them. So the other thing, blood sugar down, inflammation way down. Since I've been in ketosis, my weight is starting to go down again. After that 3-month stall or 2.5 month stall, whatever, it felt like forever. Man, I was happy to see 70s, 370s. I went from 90s to 70s. I didn't even stay in the 80s at all. I was hardly there. This tells me my body is ready to move. Maybe the fast I did after the carb experiment may reset my thermostat. Because your body likes a certain weight, and sometimes you have to reset it. It's like your thermostat on the wall. You turn it down, someone comes by and turns it back up. So you always are doing things to make your body think it needs to lose more weight. Because I do need to lose weight. I have plenty of energy on my body. So when you're in ketosis, you're burning fat. You can be burning dietary fat, or you can be burning your own fat. Now, see, a lot of people who aren't insulin resistant and who are lucky enough to be a little more flexible, they can, once they get their body in ketosis, they can cut back on fat and burn their own. I find when I cut my fat back, my sugar numbers go up. Because my body's still stubborn, it doesn't want to use my fat. It will. And I found out the way that it will. Don't eat. When I go on my 60-hour fast, that's basically 2.5 days. I lose weight and I keep it off. So that's how I do it now. I eat a high fat diet 5 days a week, or basically 5. 2 days I don't eat. And when you're in ketosis, not eating for 2 days, to be honest with you, it's a breeze. I wish I could explain it to people, but if you try to fast and you're not in ketosis, the first 2 days suck. Everybody will tell you that's the hardest 2 days of a fast. Say you're going to do an extended fast, religious reasons, dietary, whatever. And you're going to do a 5-day water fast. The first 2.5, 3 days suck. Because you're not in ketosis at that point. You're now using up all your glucose in your body and your glycogen stores and out of your liver, and your body keeps finding it until you're producing ketones. That fast sucks. But here's the thing. Because I'm on a ketogenic diet, and lately I've been strict and keeping my carbs low and keeping myself in that state. So when I do that 2-day fast, the first day is a little rougher. The second day is a breeze. I could probably go 3 days, but my head says I'm hungry and I give in. But I could do it longer if I wanted to. But 2 days is good. I get some autophagy out of it. I get, if I was drifting out of ketosis, it puts me solidly back in. And, that's it's how I do it. So, I have a plan and I have goals. And, I think the other part, when my stall happened, I think I got complacent. I think I was, I got to a number and I hit that 400 pound and I was happy. Problem was I was too happy and I slacked, and then things happened, and next thing you know, you're eating carbs and you're up to 423. And was that fat? No, that was water. That's what happens when I eat carbs. I retain water. My edemas come back. Inflammation comes back. My wrists were so sore during those 6 weeks that there was nights where, even though I wasn't taking any Aleve or Advil or anything like that, I wanted it. But to me, your best Aleve, your best is ketosis. Because your inflammation is going to go down. And that doesn't just mean arthritis. That means all inflammation. which, of all diseases, inflammation is the root cause. It's that with insulin, high insulin all the time. It's not that insulin's bad. It has its purpose. Type 1 diabetic would die to have some insulin. Type 2, we have too much. So, the other thing I do probably too much is I watch way too many YouTube videos and I get all this information and it confuses you at times. You have to sift through it like you imagine the old timers looking for gold, sifting through all that stuff to get one nugget. You got to throw away a lot of crap to get that nugget. And I find it. And the thing I've never just followed one camp. I've never sit there and go, bow to Dr. Eric Berg. I've learned a lot of him, but see, everybody's bodies are different. I'm a type 2 diabetic. I'm highly insulin resistant. When I eat too many carbs at all, and I fall out of ketosis, and probably out there going, how do you know? Well, I measure. There's only one way to know things is you got to check things. How does your doctor know if you're diabetic? They check for it. There's different tests between the A1C. If they really want to get, and they do a glucose tolerance test. By the time you're at the point where they're checking your A1C and they're checking your fasting blood sugars, you're too far for that to help you reverse. Because if you catch diabetes before you become a diabetic and you're in the pre-diabetic in the beginning stage, it's a lot easier to reverse. There's times where I see people and I just want to scream at the top of my lung what this has done for me. But I've found a lot of people don't want to hear it. I guess maybe instead of preaching religions, I'm preaching keto and fasting. And they fall on deaf ears just about as much as that seventh day that comes to your door. The only thing you can do is mention and hope they plants a seed, and if it doesn't grow, I just hope this plants a seed for someone. If this helps one person get back on track. I had 2 people on my last video say they got them moving again. That's all. That's all I'm here for. Keep me moving, maybe to help you get moving. And a lot of what I say is my opinion. But I know what it does for me, and I know what it could do for you. I know it. There's not an ounce of my body that doesn't believe if you're morbidly obese, type 2 diabetic, that if you got on a ketogenic diet and did fasting, that you would have results. I challenge anyone. You got to lose weight, do keto. I know. It's not sustainable. You can't do it. You want your foot to get chopped off later in life? Keep your diabetes out of check. You like being on 8 medicines a day? Keep doing what you're doing. It's gonna. Then you'll go, but here's the thing. If you don't change soon enough, when you finally go, hey, it's time to change, might be too late. It's like oil in your car. You might get away with running on no oil for a while. Eventually, it'll catch up to you. Think about maintenance on your car. That's, and here's the other thing I know. I've just over my years, nothing tastes as good as the way I feel right now. Nothing. I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't miss a Jimmy John sub, the number 9 with extra mayo and hot peppers. I know what I like. I'd be lying if to say that I'm not dying to make my pizza that I'm really good at, or my mashed potatoes, or eating bread. But I can't. I miss it, yeah. Candy, sure. There's ways around things. I made keto bread, keep it in my freezer every now and then. I don't eat it every day, but every now and then I'll pull it out and throw a piece of butter on there and eat it with my dinner. Does it taste like bread? Yeah, to a point. Just like when I make cauliflower pizza crust. I'm missing the dough, but then I can have my sauce and cheese and toppings. But once again, a lot of that stuff has high carbs. I don't eat it every day, but it's a nice alternative. But what I do eat every day, or every other day, or at least 3 times a week, is ribeye, steak. I love it. So I didn't have to give that up. I've become a big fan of cauliflower mashed, because guess what? It's just a carrier for butter and Philadelphia cream cheese, salt, pepper. Tastes good. Brussels sprouts I have to grow into, but right now I like them a lot. So anyone who tells you that keto is not sustainable and then you can't do it long term, or you can't do fasting long term, is because I think they want to bring you down in their own little ways. I was working out, and a guy he seen me a while, and we were talking about how my journey's going, and he's noticed, my energy level and everything, and we were talking, and this other gentleman overheard. He's overweight, and he came up to me and started asking about it, and if you ask me, I'll tell. I'm not ashamed to admit that I do keto, and I'm not afraid to admit that I do fasting. And if you have a problem with it, I don't care. It makes me feel good. I don't care if you tell me it's unhealthy, or tell me it's impossible, or this or that. Bull. You know what's impossible? Breaking your bed because you're too heavy. I still can't take a bath, but I would love to get to the point where I can take a Epsom salt bath to replenish my magnesium. Because it's good for you. But I'm not at that point yet. I still have water displacement problems. But we're getting there. But you have to do what's right for you. If your family isn't following you in the keto lifestyle or this, you have to do what's right for you. And guess what? If you're the one who's cooking, you tell them you can eat what I cook, or you can cook yourself. I know that's probably not realistic, but sometimes don't tell them. Because to be honest with you, if you make steak and some veggies, and they're not going to really know that that's keto. But you can control your macros that way. You have to find a way. Because get healthy. The weight will come, but get healthy. That's how you have to look at this journey. Yes, it's my weight loss journey, but about halfway through, I realized I want to get healthy. See, I was losing weight the other way, but I felt like crap. Then I'd get these cravings and blah. I'll tell you one thing. In ketosis, I don't get cravings. I go shopping. I walk by candy aisles. God, you go to Walmart, you go to Giant Eagle around here, or any of your grocery stores. That stuff is front and center. You can't check out without seeing it. Big ass Reese's peanut butter cup. This is not the regular one, the deep ones now. Now they got the bars. And you got your special chocolate, all that other. It's there. Walk by and there's chips and dips, and it's a pitfall. Sometimes I feel like this weight loss game and this health game is like playing Chutes and Ladders. Every time you take a couple up, you're hoping to avoid that one shoot that sends you all the way back to the beginning. And that's what a lot of our diets end up being, is we get to this point and all of a sudden we hit that one thing and we're back to the beginning because we did not understand why we are the way we are. The one book that if you just read one book, and even if you don't follow it, at least you'll understand, is The Obesity Code by Dr. Jason Fung. Read it. At least you'll have some knowledge. Okay, it's getting a little long here. I think I hit what I wanted to hit. So get back to being in ketosis. You have to get some sort of way to measure it. And probably the best is a blood one. This is Keto Mojo. That's the brand I use. There's other brands out there. $1 a strip, which I've found is probably the cheapest. There are some that are maybe more accurate overall, but let's face it, we're not scientists here. It does the job, and it's probably the most economical. You can get the urine pee strips, but they go bad, and when you're fat adapted, and once you don't pee on a lot of ketones, so it doesn't really tell you what's going on. At the beginning, yeah, you'll know, but there's so many variables to the urine pee strips. If you're dehydrated or if you're overhydrated, it will affect what you're peeing out. There's the breath one. It measures acetone. That's if you ever lost weight or did any fast for any long time and you get in ketosis at first, your mouth will feel different. To me right now, I don't even notice it. But that's acetone. So you can buy a breathalyzer. They range anywhere from, this one was $40 by the House of Keto. I don't know if I'd recommend it or not. It does okay. When I run out of strips, at least it tells me if I'm in ketosis. I've pretty much figured that I correlated between what this says and what my Keto Mojo says, and so I know about where I am. But there are more expensive ones that even hook up to your computer. They're fairly accurate, but the best is, because you want the blood one, test beta hydroxybutyrate, which is the main ketone body that your brain uses and your heart and some other cells that are a little more resistant to other ketones. Now, some of your body doesn't even use ketones; it just uses fat. It doesn't even break down the ketones. Your mitochondria just takes it. And there's parts of your body where it's insulin resistant, or it won't take the glucose because the insulin can't get it in there. Ketones take a different pathway, and that's the reason why people with Alzheimer's do great on this, or people with epilepsy. It helps the brain. And when you start producing ketones on a regular basis and your brain becomes adapted to it, it takes time. It could take anywhere from a month to 6 months before your brain is completely on board. When it is, then it's happy. Your muscles like it, So anyway, so you measure. The other thing, goal setting. If you're struggling out there, set a goal. I have a journal I write down. Basically, I don't write down macros or how much. But I keep track of my ketones and my blood sugars and my thoughts and what I'm feeling that day. If I had a rough day, why was that day rough? And I look back and, I go, okay, was I stressed? Emotional? Because there's one thing, I never thought I was an emotional eater. I am. So it's really important to do that, but you're worth it. Just remember that. You are worth it. Don't ever think you're not. I want to wish everyone happy holidays. And I'm going to try to get another video within a week or two because I'm doing something a little different right now. And on a different type of fast this week. I'm not going to say it right now. I'll tell you about it when I get done with it and my results. But a new book I've been reading is called Any Way You Can. It's by Dr. Annette Bosworth. She's an MD in, I think it's Idaho or North Dakota, one of those. But I've come to like her videos, and she does a lot of live on Sunday nights, and she's really good. If you look her up on YouTube, you'll see some of her videos. But she has a book called Any Way You Can. It's about her mom's journey with cancer and how they've used ketosis as an adjunct to hold off chemo as long as they can to improve some markers. And the ketosis is the magic. Get there and be happy. All right. Once again, happy holidays. Wherever you're at, God bless. Be safe. Oh, yeah. And if you want to follow me, subscribe. My 3 other subscribers are feeling a little lonely. And if you made it to this end of this video, you really like me. So give it a thumbs up. Thank you. Bye.